brand new Hulu original film and is the new film in the Predator franchise. The film stars Amber Midhunter, Dakota Beavers, and Dane DeLihero. The film is about Naru, a skilled female warrior who fights to protect her tribe against one of the first highly evolved predators to land on Earth. The origin story of the predator in the world 300 years before the original film. The film is an hour 40 and is rated R. Welcome back to a brand new movie review here at Max Talks Movies. We're talking about Prey on Hulu. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and ring the bell. If you're new, I do movie reviews like these, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and a box office breakdown show every single Monday. So please subscribe, ring the bell. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on Prey? If you've seen this, one of your least favorite Predator movies, and are you going to check it out this weekend? If you have not seen the movie on Hulu, are you going to get Hulu just to see this movie? Let me know in the comment section down below. And please like the video, guys. It really helps so more people will be recommended to be able to watch this review of Prey. So this is not a big time franchise that a lot of people make it out, for me at least. I really like the first film. I don't have as emotional attachment as most people to the original film, but I still think it's an excellent movie done right. And all the sequels for me just don't really land, especially the most recent one, the Shane Black film in 2018 was really bad. So this going to Hulu kind of worried me when it was first announced, but out of nowhere, starting at showings at Comic-Con, and then the more the critics saw it, this is getting rave reviews as if it's the best sequel, it might be the best Predator movie, and that's what I was hearing heading in. So I had pretty high expectations, even though this is just not my franchise. I've seen all the movies, but other than the first film, I really don't like any of the other films in this franchise. So I want to say, first of all, that I really like this movie. This is a very suspenseful, simple, and thrilling 100 minutes. And I wish more movies are honestly were kind of made like this, especially with these type of franchises. I think this is one of the things that Terminator has really struggled with, that the original Terminator was a low budget action film, really a horror thriller movie. And then it became kind of a big thing, CGI fest in the last 20 years. And Predator has kind of been that. The original film is about these guys led, by Arnold Schwarzenegger to go to the jungle and they get chased by the Predator, right? So it's a simple movie, but also takes place in the jungle. And the rest of the films kind of abandoned that kind of plot line, going to like big science, doing science lab type movies with this franchise. It's just a mess. And this kind of brings it back to form, which is we have this tribe. This takes place, I think, a couple hundred years before the original film. And also, first of all, if you've never seen a Predator film, you do not have had to see a Predator film leading into this film. Yeah, well, yes, it does take place a couple hundred years before the original film. It does not really reference the original film at all, as it shouldn't, because it takes place hundreds of years beforehand. So if you've not seen the Predator film, you're kind of nervous about that part of it, definitely go watch this movie if you're that nervous about it. But this is a really great character and lead performance from Amber Midthunder. Hopefully I'm saying her name right. She is amazing in this movie. And one of the reasons why this movie works, that it is about this Native American tribe in the 1700s. And Naru is this character who, as a woman, is a woman not really seen as a hunter in this tribe. She wants to be a hunter, not because she really wants to be a hunter, but because everyone in her life told her that she can't do it. So she's kind of passionate about this. She has a very supportive brother who is, I think, one of the heads of the tribe, who's played by Dakota Beavers. They have a really great relationship, but the movie literally rests on the shoulders of Naru, who is in every single shot of this, really at most of the scenes of this movie. And she's a very great lead character. But the movie is just very thrilling. Once the Predator lands here into this movie, it is basically a thrill ride for the whole movie. It has a great sense of atmosphere. It's well shot. It's clearly on a location. And you can feel like them going back to the jungle makes this more of a threatening movie, where you feel like, because we're in the 1700s, because we're in the jungle, because our characters don't have the technology like the Predator has, it makes the film even more thrilling than it should be. Because normally films these days, people have the technology to kind of combat the Predator and stuff like that. But because these characters are basically in the 1700s, they don't. So it makes the film even more thrilling. But as I said, Naru is a really great lead character who's the perfect underdog to face off against the Predator. It really is like David versus the Goliath when you're talking about Naru versus Predator. And I think that's what this movie excellently does especially towards the third act. The third act of this movie is awesome. Some really great action scenes, really throughout the film, but really the third act does not mess around with really clever, well-written, and well choreographed action set pieces. Dane DeLaGuerro, who is the costume he is in the suit playing the Predator, brings a lot of great physicality to the Predator, where it does kind of give it kind of more human qualities as it should, but still feels like a creature and an animal in its own right. It kind of is the perfect one of being this creature animal and then mixing with like human abilities. I kind of like that, and the look of the Predator is awesome throughout. And the CGI use on that was pretty good as well. So the Naru was a really great lead character. Also, the violence is awesome. This movie is really violent, which I really enjoyed. This is one of the most violent action, I guess, movies, or one of the most violent movies I've seen all year long, with people being decapitated and legs going off. And there's just so many surprises about how these kills happen, especially when the Predator starts going on that rampage about halfway through the movie. It really picks up, and the intensity of seeing the Predator kill all these people like this makes you really feel nervous for Naru throughout the entire film. So great lead performance and a great character, perfect underdog for this type of story. Let's get into some of my negatives. I have a couple negatives for me. One is that the CGI they use a lot of animals in this film to fight the Predator, like a wolf or a bear, and it just kind of felt like a video game when it was happening, especially there's a fight between the Predator and a bear that feels like a video game cutscene instead of an actual movie scene. And I don't know if it's because it went to Hulu, they didn't get the biggest amount of budget, but you can kind of feel the CGI not being great in that particular action scene. And I think the first half of this movie is just really a bit way too slow for its own good. The second half is awesome. I said the third act really pumps it, but I think the first half is a bit too slow for the movie. And I wish they went into even a deeper relationship between the brother and the sister. I think Naru's relationship with his brother is crucial, but I wish they had a bit more to do together. So while the CGI really isn't that great, really, for the movie, kind of pulls me out of scenes when the Predator's fighting an animal. And the relationship not being as deep as I wanted it to be between brother and sister. I still had a really good time of Prey. This is one of the most fun times I've had watching a movie all year. Violent, it's thrilling, it has great action scenes. And while there's some issues, this is a great character and a great return to form for the Predator franchise. So I'm going to give Prey a 4 out of 5 stars and 83% for Prey on Hulu. So please check it out on Hulu. Like the video, subscribe, ring the bell. More videos coming from the review of They, Them will be coming out tomorrow. Monday, box office breakdown show. And more reviews are coming down the pipeline. So please subscribe. I'll see you guys.